Random Scaries Movies of the Days, Pet Sematary. This movie is very weird. Spoilers for the movie. Don't watch this video if you want to watch the movie and then come back to this video and see my review. This doctor and his family, his wife and his 2 kids move into this house across from this other house, and they're separated by a road where trucks just randomly pass and don't have any regard for human life. This old guy named Judd lives in the house across the street, and he's the only character whose name I remember from the movie because he had one of the most distinct voices I've ever heard from any actor ever. I swear to gosh, this guy's voice could narrate my entire life and I would have no complaints. I wish he could, but I don't think he's still alive anymore because this movie was made in 1989. He looked very old, so he's probably dead. Speaking of death, this movie has tons of it. The family's cat passes away in a tragic car truck accident. Because remember what I said about all the trucks having no regard for human life? That also extends to cat life. So the cat passed away, and the old guy, Judd, tells Dr. Man, who's the main protagonist of the movie, hey, there's this graveyard near your house called the Pet Sematary. That's the title of the movie! If you take your cat up there and you bury it there, it'll come back to life. There's also this implied racism in the movie that it's a native burial ground, and because it's a native burial ground, 1980s movies always want to make anything indigenous supernatural. Because it always is the indigenous stuff that's supernatural. Right, movies? White directors in the 80s? What is wrong with you? So anyway, they take the cat up to the burial ground, they bury it, and wouldn't you know, the next day the cat comes back to life. At this point in time, the doctor's family's away, and then every time he comes back to the house, the cat starts acting weird because it's not a normal cat anymore, it's a zombie cat. Fast forward several days later, the family's son passes away in the same exact way as the cat. He gets hit by a truck in probably one of the dumbest examples of parenting I've ever seen. Judd is like, well, no human has ever been buried in the pet cemetery. The doctor's like, you know what, screw that, I'm gonna take him up there anyway. Which is probably the dumbest decision I've ever seen from any movie character ever. And I've seen a lot of scary movies. Like, you know that this cemetery brings dead stuff to life, and the stuff that comes back to life seems like zombie stuff. I know this was the 80s, before all the crazy zombie movies came out that were very iconic and popular, but come on, man, don't take your son out there. He does anyway. He starts going crazy, and then his son turns into a zombie, just like the cat, and starts murking people. Starting with Judd, which was a very tragic scene in the movie, because Judd did nothing wrong. Justice for Judd. And then the doctor comes over because he realizes his son is back to life, but he's weird. But then first, actually, the wife comes back because they were away in Chicago, shout out to Chi-Town, and then they came back, well, the wife came back because she was like, well, there's weird stuff happening with my husband and his son. So now I come back, also my son is dead. So then she came back, and then she went to Judd's house after hearing some noises, and then she came back, and then her son